Hi there, friends, and welcome to video number 2 of our Living Redefined series. We are really excited, well, I'm really excited to share with you our wonderful home. I'm really excited to call home, hopefully sooner rather than later. Today I actually wanted to take you a tour of inside, show you the place, show you where we're at, and what we've accomplished so far. But first I wanted to talk a little bit about why we actually chose this spot, because where we landed was a little bit random, but if you have known Dylan and I for any length of time, anytime that we have moved has always been kind of a spur of the moment. We move and we see what happens. But we actually did put a lot of thought into this one. The main reasons that we moved were number one, to drastically lower our living costs. We wanted to keep our bills as minimal as we possibly could so that we have more money to, number one, save for retirement, make sure that we're comfortable for a long time, and also number two, make sure that we have money to play with and have some fun and enjoy life while we're here. So that was our main goal. And number two, we also wanted to have a lot more land. We have 3 very large dogs and they need to run, and putting any of them on a leash is not a fun time. So we wanted to make sure that we gave them some land to run around in. So that was kind of our 2 big things that we were looking for in a home. Given that the housing market in Ontario, Canada is a little bit wild as far as housing prices, it is crazy what you have to spend to get not very much. So trying to find a house on a budget wasn't exactly an easy task, but what we did was actually open up our mind to look at a pretty wide area. We had a general idea of where we wanted to move to, so we kind of looked within a big realm and ended up finding this spot, which worked out perfectly. It was actually not fully finished, which was awesome because we thought we were going to have to take on a complete reno job, which would include gutting a house and rebuilding. This one actually wasn't finished, so we knew exactly what was behind the walls because there were no walls. We settled on this place. Number one, it was well within the budget. Number two, it had a beautiful property that we really liked. And number three, very important, it had access to as good of internet as you're going to get when you live out in the country. So that was a huge bonus because we thought that we were going to have to pay an absolute fortune to get internet. But it's pretty reasonable. The speeds are reasonable. And that for us is obviously super important because we both work online. I'm really excited to take you inside, give you a tour, and then also kind of talk a little bit about where we're at in the process. So here we go. This area here is our main living room. And kind of hard to see with the lighting, but to be honest with you, when we came in and we saw the big window here that's currently covered by poly and this window here, that was really one of the big selling points on this home for us. We wanted something big, open, and lots of windows, so that pretty much sealed the deal there. And over here we'll have our kitchen and an island, so while we're cooking and doing all those kinds of fun things, we can enjoy our nice view out front. We've got our pantry, which I'm super stoked about because I am very excited to do lots of canned goods and preserves, so there's going to be a lot of fun things being stored in that pantry right there, so I'm really excited. We gave ourselves lots of space for that. Into the master bedroom, which is currently the dog's room. Not a whole lot will change when we actually move in. They pretty much still take over our bed even when we are living in our normal way, so it's pretty much a good sign of how it's going to be regardless. And then coming in here will be our master bath. So, do a quick little tour downstairs. And over here, we've got what is going to be our at-home office, which Dylan is working on figuring out how we're going to get a door between that beam and where they've already roughed in a closet. So, that's today's current project. And then next door is going to be our guest bedroom and closets and stuff. Then we'll have our bathroom downstairs, 3-piece bathroom down here. And then coming into this space over here, we've got a laundry room, mechanical room, and they actually roughed this in to be their garage, which we thought was not exactly what we want to do. We would rather have a little bit more garage space, so down the road when we get through this project will be to build a detached garage, but for now we're going to actually convert this into a second living space, so more of a rec room, When Dylan is gaming and screaming at people, he can be down here and I can be quietly upstairs and life will be swell. Because we decided to launch our Living Redefined project a little bit into our building process, I wanted to take a bit of time to explain to you guys what we've already accomplished. So, we bought the house in August, and like I said, it was just framed. We ripped all of that out and redid the layout entirely, so that's why we've got all the framing in there now. The biggest thing we had happen, which you can't see, is right under there is our well. So we had that put in pretty much immediately after we took ownership of the property. So that was awesome. There was already a septic bed, so we didn't have to worry about that. The largest project we've had to date that has also been my biggest headache was actually running hydro to the property. I'm going to take you guys on a little tour of one of my finest accomplishments and also give you a little tour of some more of our property and all my beautiful trees. When we initially started talking, I guess, about doing this move and where we wanted to live, we looked, like I said, at a pretty large area. This specific area, I grew up about an hour or so south of here. And there's just something about when you come a little bit further north and you see the fully mature trees, you see the big, huge rock cuts that are in the area, the rolling hills, everything. There's something about it that I don't even know how to put into words, but it makes my heart feel full. And I feel a really immense amount of happiness from just taking in the view that I see. And so another piece of choosing this property was actually when we were driving down the road, the main road in, and we got a view of one of the lakes nearby, and it captured my heart almost entirely. So it's really taken it on, and I wanted to have that feeling of being impressed and taken aback by the view every time I go home. So this area really caught that for me. So that's my bit of emotional side of this. Anyways, we are going into, there's a lot of snow here, to the pleasure of this guy right here who absolutely loves running around it and enjoying it as much as he possibly can. Right here is what I'm super excited to show you. It doesn't look like much, but that pole, that hydro pole there, caused me a lot of heartache. Dealing with, like I said, with getting hydro in was not an easy task. So we're actually 300 feet from the road, which puts us quite a ways from our nearest pole. So there was some confusion with having to run the lines and how we were going to do that, because it costs a lot of money to run the proper cabling from that kind of a distance. So anyway, so what we settled on is we actually ran a pole between the road and this part of our property, and then we had to run a trench the rest of the way up in Bear. This guy's just having a great time. Look at him go. He loves it. He's so happy we're here. Vincent, what's going on, man? That about sums up where we're at in the house. The biggest things we did were putting in the well, getting electrical pass, getting the electrical hooked up, and then finishing the insulation. Getting a toilet is going to be the next big thing that I'm super, super excited for. Well, we do have an outhouse on the property that was put in by the previous owner. However, due to the extreme amount of snow that we have had, getting to the outhouse is not the easiest task. So instead we have been using nature's winter natural toilet system. Yeah, I know. Some of you are cringing, and I apologize for that. But you gotta do what you gotta do, and sometimes you gotta make sacrifices to make gains. So that's kind of where we're at. So this weekend, my dad is coming up, and he has been incredibly helpful. My dad has actually been building custom homes for the last 30 years, so never in my life have I been more grateful for his expertise. He's been doing a ton to help us out. So he's coming up and hooking up a toilet, so super, super, super excited for that. And that's pretty much the next biggest thing that's going to happen. And we both, Dylan and I, are super excited to take you guys on our journey. I don't really know how to finish this. I think I'm supposed to tell you to subscribe, like, so that you can see more of our videos and hopefully, follow us along. Anyways, I think that about wraps up this video. I will see you guys in our next video. Bye!